Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new here. If you're new, please consider subscribing. I'd love to see you back and it would really help me grow my channel. So thanks for everyone who has subscribed and everybody who's considering it. So today I'm going to do my coloring plans for December 2024. I have a huge stack of books over here, much more than I could color in a month, but I like to give myself as many options as possible because as I've said a million times before, I'm more a mood-driven colorist than actually seasonal or anything like that. I am, of course, going to do some Christmas and winter coloring. I do celebrate Christmas, so it's a big deal. So I think I'm going to do a few pages, but I don't have very many Christmas coloring books. As a matter of fact, I think I only have one real totally Christmas book, but I have found pages in other books. So I will be showing them to you today. So first off, I'm just going to quickly show you a couple of books that I participate in a group monthly color. I don't know if it's called a color along or a complete book, but whatever it is, it's a group buddy. And I did check this morning. It is actually the morning of November 30th when I'm filming this. And I have not seen for these first two books any posts of what December's page is. So I don't know what they are, so I can't really show them to you. But the first one is Mini Mania 1 by Gabby Wolf, and it's hosted by Coloring Bumblebee. So she should probably have something on Instagram in the next day or two for what our December page is. But I started late, so I only have a few pages colored here. But it is a fun book, and I really, really enjoy doing the autumn pages. They came out really vibrant and colorful, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she's going to choose for December. Okay, so that's the first book. The second group buddy is Spooky by Sarah Sedgwick, and this is hosted by Christina's Art Corner. Again, did not see December's page today, but I will keep checking. And I have started a WIP that I began in October, and I think I'm going to do maybe this page, the December page, and if I could get a third one to play catch up with, I'm almost caught up. I'm only about probably 4 pages behind everybody else. So I will try doing this. Just an FYI, my alcohol marker, which is Ohuhu, and I love, love, love it. It's nice and opaque, was running out when I was doing this. So I tried to find another black alcohol marker, which didn't really cover the light spots. So I think the brand that I bought, which is kind of like Blick's home brand, isn't as opaque as the Ohuhu. So I think I have to wait. I will check again to see if they've restocked just the individual colors and see if I can find a nice black, an opaque black. So that didn't really work, but I may just finish the page and call it done if I don't find one in time. So this is one page I will be doing. The second page, as I mentioned, I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work on that as well. Minimum those two, because this is a really fun book. It's pretty easy. You know, I do everything with a base of alcohol marker, and it makes it much easier to do the pencil shading on top. So those are the first 2 books. The next book is a carryover from November. So I'm probably going to do one of the 2 pages that I had selected in November. It's still calling out to me. As I mentioned, this looks like a 2-page spread. Most likely I will not do it at the same time. because I do have a lot of books I'd like to get to in December. So I don't think I'm up to a 2-page spread in this book. I was hoping this was going to be a watercolor book, but unfortunately it didn't take water that well. So I'm going to try using this satin glazing liquid on top first and then trying the watercolor. Or I might also try doing a fixative, which I think it's Jordy from Jordy Colors who recommended it, but I'm not positive about that. But someone had mentioned they tried it and it worked in their book. So first, I think I'm gonna try the satin glazing liquid, and if that doesn't work, I might try a movable fixative. So this is the second page, not a 2-page spread that I really like. And I added this one for this month because this looks like a winter scene. She's wearing a coat, so it might be appropriate for December. And then the last one is a Christmas page. The portrait is the one that's calling out to me the most, but these are more appropriate for the season. So I might do one of the Christmas pages and then maybe tackle this one in January, but I am keeping it open as an option just in case the mood strikes me. I do have a few pages that are kind of Christmas oriented or that I am going to use Christmas colors with. So I might get bored of doing a lot of Christmas pages. So if that's the case, by the time I get to this book, it could be another Christmas page or it could be a portrait page. So that is Colorful Time, Photo Time Shadow Flower. It's a Chinese book and I don't know who the author is, but there's my second book or third book. The next book I want to show you is a group buddy that I've been working on for, I think, the whole of 2024. We're almost halfway through the book, I think, or well past a third. But I also joined this group buddy after it had started, so I'm behind a few pages. We're all taking a break for the remainder of the year, so I might try to play catch up. This was one of the pages I thought of. I have a few that I could do to play catch up with, but I kind of like this one. It seems very Harry Potter magical, and Harry Potter reminds me of Christmas time. At least the first one I think came out at Christmas. So that's what I think of. So I'm considering this page as a catch up. I might put this to the back of the list because I don't want to burn out the way I did in part of 2024. I took a few months off and came back, did a month, and then realized everyone was feeling burned out and we decided to suspend for the rest of the year. So I don't want to get burnt out again. So I may or may not be doing this one, but I would love to catch up so that when we finish the book, you know, I'm finished as well instead of having several pages left over. So that is Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Joanna Basford. Next is an odd pick because it's Mythographic Wild Summer by Joseph Cadenbang. As I said, I don't really go that much for the seasonal. I color what I want when I want to. And I didn't get to this book as much as I wanted to in the summer. And there are a few pages that are not necessarily summer to me, like this page, that I think is absolutely stunning. And I have seen quite a few people do this page. So it is kind of intimidating when you see so many gorgeous pages to do your own. But I may tackle it, be brave, and do it anyway, because I really, really love this page. The second option was this one that I thought I could make it kind of Christmas colors. I could make this a silver bell. It could be gold as well for Christmas, and I could do red yarn or green yarn and red flowers. So I kind of thought this might be a nice Christmas page in a summer book. So this one is the one, honestly, that's speaking more to me. So, I love cats, as I mentioned constantly. So most likely this one, but I also love this peacock page. So one of these two have been selected from Mythographic Wild Summer by Joseph Kattenbang. Up next is Into the Wild by Daisy Fletcher. This is an untouched book for me. Or maybe I did a small image when I first received it. Oh yeah, it isn't untouched. I did this first page. But I would like to make, it's such a beautiful book. I would like to make some sort of dent in it. So I was thinking of doing like maybe a simple image, like just this one. You know, and it could be any color I want. I wouldn't do this one Christmassy. But you know, I kind of see it in purples because the paper is kind of yellowish. So I was thinking of making it a contrast in color. So that is one page I selected. And then the second one reminds me a little bit of winter. I don't know why I think of owls when I think of winter birds, but I thought this could be a nice page. I would not do this any kind of Christmas coloring. I would do it, I think I feel like more natural colors. I don't know what kind of owl this is, but I would look it up and see if I could find the markings and do that. So one of these two options I may do in December. I would really like to get to this book, but that is Into the Wild by Daisy Fletcher. Next is a book that I really find so fun. The images just are adorable, and it is Coloring with Your Octopus by Brian Kessinger. And I picked one page. And that is this winter scene. They're ice skating, she's wearing a coat, so I think this is a really appropriate page for December. I may do this, that she's wearing a red coat, kind of like a nod to Christmas, but I'm not too sure yet. This is one of the ones that I thought, okay, I could do in Christmas colors to add more Christmas to my month. But again, we'll see when I get there and how many Christmas pages I have actually colored. So this is my option for Coloring with Your Octopus by Brian Kessinger. Next up, I have Seasons by Hanna Karlzon. And this does have Christmas images in it. So I think this is where winter begins. I'm pretty sure that every time there's a bottle, it begins another season. So this is the winter section. I do like this page, and I'm going back and forth on whether I should put this up as an option, but it's a beautiful page, but for some reason it's not really calling out to me. There are other beautiful images here. I mean, any one of these would be lovely, but I've chosen the two toward the end. I love this one, but I'm not sure, again, that I can tackle a 2-page spread. So I just selected 2 single images. And the first one is this mouse with the candy and the thread. It could be a simple page because I could do the thread just, you know, with like, maybe with a water-based marker first and then do some shading. And then the other page is the last page in the book. I don't know why, but this bird really is calling my name, and I don't have any image. Obviously, I'm gonna do green. I think I would do a gold bell and do like gold, like baubles out here, like just kind of a shine, but I might do a night scene, or at least maybe a dark blue, kind of goes with the green. But when it comes to what to do with this bird, I'm blanking. So yeah, I think I have more of an image for this page. And this one, half of it is clear to me. The bird, I don't know what to do with it. So one of these 2 pages from Seasons by Hanna Karlzon. Next up is another odd pick, and it's Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosanes. I did participate in the Space Timber, but I only got a few pages done. You know, these for me are really complex pages. This one, I like the way it came out. I do not like my ship, so I will not be making it so many colors in the rest of the book. I think I'm just going to make it more silver gray with some nods to color. But then I did this double page spread that really looked like I could get this done quickly, especially since I added these planets in. I just glued them in, so I didn't have to do any shading or coloring there except for maybe the glow around it. But this took me such a long time to do, and I did use a lot of marker, but this control panel took me forever. So yeah, I didn't get as much done. I did start this context page, and I would like to keep my whips as low as possible. I think in January, I might consider doing a video on all of my whips and see if I can get some of them down, or that list down, by the end of 2025. So I thought, you know, why not finish this? You know, at least it's started. I have somewhat of a color palette here, greens, blues, and purples. I can carry that to the rest. I will not do a background. I'll just maybe a little bit of a background up here, down here. But the rest of this, I would leave the color of the paper. And up here, I would just color it and not do a background. So it might be easier that way, but still, you know, if you want to make this, you know, more colorful or weird looking because it's, you know, on a distant planet, this takes a lot of time to do a lot of different colors and shades. So I think this is deceptively simple looking, but I think it'll take me quite a bit of time. But I'm in the mood to do the Alien Worlds book in December. So that's definitely on my list. A book I haven't worked on in a long time, but really find it beautiful, is Paule Brun's Amazon book. I've done a few pages in here, a few more than I had thought. I thought I only did 1 or 2, but I've done about 4 or 5 pages. But there's still quite a few pages undone. And it's such a lovely book. I would like to see more done in here. I think that this book would be absolutely amazing completed. And it is one of the books that I think I would like to complete. I've selected this page. This flower, although I'll look in the back to see what it is, I don't think it's the plant I'm thinking of that comes out at Christmas time here, at least in the Northeast. And it's red, and it has like a yellowish or tan stem that comes up. I'm not sure what you call this piece, but I thought I could kind of make this a winter page. Red berries, red flower, and then I could just do the rest in greens, reds. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of green here, but I think I could incorporate some Christmas colors. These I see more purplish red, but still kind of in that family. And it's a lovely, lovely image. And I think I can make it look somewhat wintry by adding a lot of red into it. So this is the only page I've selected from this book this month. So this is definitely going to be the image. So that is from Paule Brun's Amazon book. Next up is a buddy color with my friend Renee. This is a new book for both of us. I think I got it a few months after everyone else purchased it, but it is a lovely book. I've done one page that I could recall, but there are a few kind of Christmassy Hanukkah pages. Honestly, this looks more like a Hanukkah page because I thought this was a dreidel. So I might do a nod to Hanukkah and do this in blues. Of course, I would use other colors, right? I can't just use blue. Well, you can, but I wouldn't in this book. But I don't know. It could be that these are Christmas elves, and this is not a dreidel, but I might look on Pinterest first and see if anyone has done this page, how they've done it. So I don't know. It could be Christmas elves, or it could be Hanukkah. Either way, that's a real December page, right? Because they're both holidays in December. So we're going to be working on this together. And she's Renee Urbans on Instagram. She has lovely stuff. So if you want to go check out her channel, I don't think she doesn't have a YouTube channel, but her Instagram page has a lot of images that she's done, and they're all very beautiful. So that is from Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Lederhol Oberg. Because I love doing portraits, I've included a portrait from one of my portrait books every month. I alternate between like 3 or 4 books. Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen is my favorite, so this is the most filled, and I think I want to work in this book in December as well. I've chosen quite a few images here, probably about, I think 4 or 5 of them. The first one is this Cup of Warmth page, which has leaves in it, and they would be autumn colored leaves at this point, but I don't know, I didn't want to do this in October and November. New York was oddly warm at those times, so it didn't kind of feel that coldness that you would drink like a hot cup of cocoa. So I am thinking of doing this in December instead, because normally November is very cold here, but this year it hadn't been. So I'm feeling it more for December. Another winter page is this one, and First Snow, I've seen quite a few people do, and they're all gorgeous, and she's absolutely stunningly beautiful. I'm a little worried about the husky though. You know, this book does take water medium if you don't use a lot of water, so I may forget about the texture and just let her lines do the texture and just do kind of like either a brown and white or a black and white version of a husky with just watercolors, kind of like not a realistic look. But her, I would like to do more realistic. So I don't know how that would work. So this is a page that's probably more difficult considering what I'm planning for the dog. But I'm still going to keep her on. She is absolutely beautiful. And I think it would be a great page to do in December. The next page is this Little Red Riding Hood. Not necessarily winter or Christmas, but it does have like a wolf in it, which I associate more with winter. And I don't know, just it called to me much more than the other pages. So I may just do it anyway and not use this book to do a winter themed. I may just do it red and whatever natural colors there are. And then this is the last page, is this Small Wonders. But such a beautiful winter scene. I really could see this with a lot of blues in the background for the snow and maybe like some greens, and keep this somewhat natural looking. I love what I consider the Harry Potter owl, but it is the least of the 4 pages. So, but you never know. When I come down to it and, you know, we get closer to Christmas, I may feel that page more. The next is a difficult book for me to pick, and that is Serendipity by R.J. Hampson. I've talked ad nauseum on how much I hate this paper, so it's a tough book for me. The last page that I did, I actually scanned in the image and used my Nina cardstock. I liked it. I was able to use my alcohol markers. It worked really well. This is the page here. I used everything I wanted to: watercolor, alcohol marker, pencil, gel pen, and it worked great. But I have this weird thing that I really like to work in the actual book. You know, I love to thumb through the book and see what I've finished or what I've done. So the option of scanning and working on better paper is there, but it's not something I love doing. I've only done one page in this book, which was an absolute disaster. It did not come out well at all. And it was this SpongeBob SquarePants kind of coloring, and it was awful to work with. But I did not use alcohol markers. I think I used water media. That didn't work. Did some kind of pen over it. That didn't work. Tried some acrylic. That didn't work. Water-based markers didn't look great. I didn't even finish it. I mean, I disliked it so much I didn't even finish the butterfly. So this is a rough one for me. I like this page a lot. His artwork is lovely. It's very, very cute, or very cute for me. This is probably the cutest I go, but this is such a sweet page. I would really like to do it. I don't know if I'm gonna try doing the whole alcohol marker route, and maybe that will add enough texture to the paper that I could work with my pencils over it. Or the option is trying this satin glazing liquid. But I don't know how that takes alcohol marker. I've only done it with one time actually, and I used watercolor paints and it worked okay, but I don't know what else it takes. So I might have to experiment with this a little bit more on just like plain printer paper or something to see what it can and cannot do. So most likely I'm going to try doing the alcohol marker route for this page. The second page I chose in this book is this winter scene. And this just looks like, you know, I don't know, Scandinavian, German village near the Alps or something. It could be Italy, near the Dolomites. But I kind of have that vibe of being way outside a city, you know, more isolated and more Christmas themed. Obviously there are gifts here, so it feels more Christmassy to me. But both images are absolutely beautiful. The other one more winter inspired, and this probably more Christmas inspired. You know, golds, reds, greens, purples. Yeah, I don't know, but definitely a lot of gold in it. So, and Rudolph. I would make his nose red. So that is Serendipity by R.J. Hampson. Next up is a book I keep pulling out, and that is The Flower Year by Layla Dooley. It is absolutely a stunning book. The images are so beautiful, but in many cases, it feels overwhelming to me. I mean, this page was the last one I think I did, which was in March. And I love it. It came out really, really good. But for me, it's a time investment. I am a slow colorist. I do use mostly pencil. There's not an option to use alcohol markers here because it's double-sided, but I don't love working with water-based markers that much. I do have the Tombos, but they still streak quite a bit. Some pages are less intimidating, but I keep doing these one-off little ones, and these great big double-page spreads are not getting done. I'm not doing a double-page spread this time either, but I am considering doing the section starter. I don't know what we call this page that actually has the month written on it. But this is a lovely page. I don't see anything so far when I'm looking at it, like what kind of colors I would do. I don't think this tells you, oh no, it does. It tells you in the back what some of the things are. So I could look to see what color this bird is, maybe these front leaves, and the rest I would just do any color I want. I kind of see the trees way in the background, so I might just do those, like a warm gray. just so that it sits more in the back, and this would be my more colorful section, and that would come to the forefront and make it look like there's some depth in the image. So that's kind of what I'm seeing, although I don't see any other colors except for maybe doing this in gray, maybe even the sky in like a blue gray. I do want this to pop, this section. So I am considering it yet again, but honestly, I've been pulling it out like every month for the past 3 months, and I've not done anything in it. So I'm hoping that I feel inspired by that December page. So that is The Flower Year by Layla Dooley. You know, when I was going through my books, I realized that I don't have any books except for this one that is completely Christmas oriented. So I think I'm going to add a couple of Christmas books to my Christmas list that, you know, my family chooses from, and hope that next year I have more options than just like seasonal pages, but that I'll actually have some books that are dedicated to winter and or Christmas. I do like the, is it Creative Haven by Teresa Goodrich? I have a Main Street and an autumn book, and I love them both, especially the autumn book. So I don't know if she's done a Christmas book. I would assume that she's done at least one or two. So I might consider one of those, and then I'll kind of look through what other people are coloring this month and see if I can find another one that I could add to my Christmas list. But the one I do have is The Night Before Christmas. The images are illustrated by Charles Santori based on, you know, the story. I have not selected a page. I thought I'd already done one here because this is not a new book. I bought this before last Christmas, but there's nothing done in here. So it must be like in my imagination that, you know, I looked through twice and I couldn't find anything. But I was thinking a simpler page. I don't know if I would use alcohol marker here. I mean, technically it is one-sided, but the story is on the other side. So if I ever have little kids running around again, I wouldn't mind reading it to them. Like, you know, it would be a cool book to actually have the story and the pages that I actually colored. So, you know, these kind of big spaces, maybe I could use like the Tim Holtz for the background to make it a little easier. And then just really just use my pencils on this. Sorry about my voice, guys. I mentioned I had a virus last week in my last video, and I did lose my voice for several days. And, you know, when I talk a lot, it doesn't seem to be fully healed. So it's a little bit more froggy than normal. But, you know, these simple pages are great because you get through them faster, but it's not calling to me. You know, these pages are, but this is more of a commitment, right? Because I'd have to actually do like, I don't have to do a glow because Santa has to come down, but it's definitely more colorful, more shading. But it's these more complicated pages that are calling to me. So yeah, I love that one. And then there are a few with Santa that I really liked. Toward the back when he's in the house. Like this one, you know, he's bounding into the house. I really like that too. Here I feel like there's a lot of space, and yeah, even if I use the Tim Holtz, it's just going to be boring. So I don't know if I might try to find an image online that I can print out and just, you know, glue on to make it look like there's a photo of some kind here. So I might do some sort of collaging here, either in just like a paper background or an image. So this one I have a lot of ideas for, so it might be that one. Also love this one. It would be a little bit more simple than the other one we just looked at. And then there's this one that I like a lot, and I might not do any background. I might let Santa really be the star of the show and just have him mostly colored and everything else kind of gray. So those are sort of the 3 pages I looked at and had some sort of reaction to. Like, see here, they have like a painting above the mantle that I could kind of use in that other page. But that is The Night Before Christmas coloring book, illustrated by Trolle Santori. Next up are two books that I showed in my last haul, which I think I posted last Saturday. And that is Victorian's Fantasy Collection. I guess this is Kuramori, is either the artist or maybe the publisher. I'm not sure. But I only selected one page here that I thought I can do in Christmas colors. This could be like a beautiful red fire engine. I could do her in greens and browns, you know, so she still have that kind of steampunk look, but it would be more Christmas. And, you know, that could be, you know, like a Christmas fairy. I could do her in reds. So I do think that this could very easily become a Christmas page. And it's a lovely image. It's a beautiful book. I'm worried about the paper. It feels a little like my Eerie book, and I don't like that paper. It, you know, soaks up watercolor. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the paper, but I'm anxious to give it a try. I think this could be a beautiful page. So that's what I picked in Victorian Fantasy Collection. And the last book is new to me. I know this is last year's book, and she's come out with, is it Sagan? Is her new release that just came out, I think either in October or November. But I really liked this book and wanted to buy it first. I usually like to see flip-throughs before I buy something. You know, I want to keep my collection under 100 books. I'm getting close. I think I have 72 books now, or 70 books. So I still have like a lot of room, but I am selective with my coloring books. I am still buying books that are Amazon print, but they're not my preference. So I try not to buy them, but just some of them are so nicely drawn that I have to. So in this book, in the back, there's quite a few like winter scenes that I think are perfect for December. And honestly, January, February, and March in New York are also, you know, dead of winter. I know March starts spring, but in New York, it's still very cold in March. So I could transfer these images to the following months. So if I don't get to this book in December, I will bring it into January. But it is kind of one of the books that are calling to me the most. I love Maria Trolle. I do not color her as often as I would like to. This is only like the second or third of her books that I have, but I love her images. And, you know, the other books that I have, they always come out so nicely. I really like the paper. The images are beautiful. You can get as detailed or simple as you want with some of these pages, and I really like that in this book. The other are these two. I guess this is some kind of Christmas elk. Not good with animals, guys, so it might not be an elk at all. It could be a moose. I really don't know. But I do like this one a lot more. And these like scenes is what I really liked about the book. I love portraits, but this has less of those images and more of these scenes. And I kind of like that as a kind of an evolution of her style. So more likely to do this page than one of these two, but I still marked them. And then I think the next one is also, yeah, either one of these. This is a beautiful winter scene. I kind of like this deer a little bit more than whatever that moose elk animal was. But I do like the other one because it's encircled, so you don't have to think about a background so much. You could leave all of that out. And even this, I would think of as a circle and not do anything outside the image. This one has an open circle, so I don't know how to do that. If I choose this image above the other two scenery pages, I might close in the circle. And if something sticks out, that's fine. I would just continue it, but I would not color outside the finished circle. Not too sure about that, but I like this image, as the other ones as well. But yeah, I kind of could see doing any one of these 4 images. So that is Shooting Star by Maria Trolle. And guys, that is it for me. I know I did this probably talking way too fast, but this is around 15 or 16 books. And I normally only do between 10 and 12 images. Like I said, I'm a slow colorist. I'm mostly a pencil colorist, and that takes a little longer. I love working with pencils though. I'm not complaining at all. I really love doing it. So this is many more, quite a few more than I could color. But it gives me choices when I start looking through what I've selected again, and you know, I won't get bored. I do work on 2 or 3 images at one time. I alternate between those few so that I don't feel like what I'm coloring is repetitive. So I love having extra books. But I love everything that I've selected. I think it's going to be a fun coloring month. I know I'm busy with, you know, shopping, wrapping, you know, working part-time, but I think I'm going to get through what I normally get through. I love coloring and I do it every day. It helps me relax, gives me a creative outlet, and something for my hands to do while I'm resting my back, watching television. So that is it for me, guys. I hope I didn't speak too quickly. I hope my, you know, froggy throat wasn't really too irritating, but I would appreciate it if you enjoyed the video, pressing that like button. If you are new here, again, I would really love it if you joined and came back. I also really do love when people contact me and make comments. I love meeting new people, especially those that share the same hobby as me. So I love talking to you guys. So if you want to write anything to me, you feel like it, please do. I answer every single one. So until next time, I will be filming in the next couple of days my completed pages. I did not do it first because I am trying to finish one long-standing whip by the end of today so that I can include it in my November pages. I am going to color all day to finish that thing because I'm really excited about it. It came out really well. I just have to finish this one piece. But yeah, it is kind of like a complicated image. It's a Kirby book. I think it's a Kirby book. Yeah, it's a Kirby book. And you know those images are really intricately drawn. So I'm going to be working really hard to finish it. But anyway, thanks so much for dropping by. If you stuck around this long, thanks again for being here. And I hope to see you in the next video. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.